Oh, buddy. What's going on, guys? Yep, we're going to be at it again for doing some more hex editing, I think. We had a lot of fun with it on Tuesday, and I haven't touched it since. So I wanted to kind of save it for the next session that we're streaming. So I said, well, I'll just hold on to it, and then on Thursday we'll do a little bit more of it. So I really haven't had the urge. I mean, I haven't even played, like, World of Warcraft in, like, 3 days, I think. Like, I just haven't had really the time or really the want to really playing it. Especially with all the politics that are going on and some of the decisions that have been made recently. I'm just kind of like, it's left me with a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm just kind of just not playing it right now. But yeah, let's take a look and make sure, yep, we got everything up and running. So last session, what we really delved into was doing editing on the actual characters and trying to figure out how the stats worked, how what all of the information was being stored, where it was being stored, and we've got pretty far with some of the information. Like, we know where gold and gems are stored, which is in a really weird kind of area on the memory. We also found the area and where the character data is stored in 2 different locations. And I think one of them is kind of the combat area. And the other area is pretty much the actual stats and the character and all that other information, even including the name. And I just found it kind of interesting that it's in 2 different locations, not to mention that it also has the stat block in there twice. We also were able to reveal that there's 2 hidden value stats. So thieves have abilities percentile-wise that allow them to do things like pick locks, hide in shadows, pick pockets, climb walls, all of those things. And this game actually accounts for it. Whether or not it actually uses them, I have no idea. But there's also a section for saving throws. Now, I believe this game... I'm not 100% sure. Let me restart it real quick. I believe this game is based off of 2nd edition because it was made in 98, or 88. It was made in 88, 89. Oops, that's not what I wanted. And I think that was around the time that 2nd edition was coming out, so I want to see if it says any type of version of Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, okay. New Flan City, we got it. It's flan. It's pronounced flan. We haven't even gotten into really just playing the game yet. Of course, I've looked at, like, the overall reason why I've started doing this was mostly because I was interested in, okay, so Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, which is 1st edition. So this is probably based off of 1st edition, but I think 1st edition also had saving throws. I don't have a 1st edition book. I have a 2nd edition book, but I think this game is based off of 1st edition. What about a manual? So let's see. Pull of Radiance manual mess. I know that I've looked at one of these before, so let's see. Yeah, okay, we got a PDF version of the manual. I'm gonna pull this up. All right. So I have this manual actually. It's upstairs somewhere, and I think it's been chewed on by a dog. So let's see. I don't care about Flan. The Moon Sea. We know it takes place in Forgotten Realms. Armor class, hit points, current hit points. It's kind of interesting that they break all this stuff out. Readied equipment, which there's got to be a value for that. Thaco to hit armor class 0, damage, experience points. We've determined that all of these have separate values, including class, including character name. Fighter with Thaco 15 is attacking him with AC 3, needs a 12 to hit. That. Making characters, we know that. Useful for the skills of picking locks and disarming traps. Thieves have a limited to armor, leather armor, and can only use a few weapons. There's got to be some code in there that tells them what they can and can't use, too. Let's see, they share some of the magic and poison resistances. Somewhat resistant to spells. Yeah, this was one of the things that we were confirming with the saving throws, because dwarves, gnomes, and halflings all had the same varying number for one of their last stats, and we determined that finally that was actually dealing with spell resistance or magic resistance. I think it's actually a percentage in this game. Character alignment, we know we can alter. Ability scores. Fighters. Intelligence measures memory, reasoning, and learning ability. Intelligence is a primary for magic users. Intelligence in this game is actually pretty worthless because the spells are not very good, so you're just going to pick the spells that you're going to want. And there's only like 3 spells that you really want to use. It's Sleep, Stinking Cloud, and Fireball. I mean, that's basically it. So, and you can just pick those as you level up. So I think it might dictate, if your intelligence is at a certain level, that your percentage is higher for learning spells, and I think that's actually in the stat block that I want to take a look at again. Naming the character, 8 characters long, we've determined that. An environmental menu, which probably has values in there as well. Adventure screen, yeah, see they have a time. Oh, that's interesting, it has the time. I'm wondering if that's actually listed in there. But there is a time stat, so we've determined in this game that it doesn't use a random number generator for results. We've determined that. That's a thing. Because the first strike always misses and the second strike always hits. So I've already calculated a lot of the numbers in there, but it's strange that they do actually have a time here, but that's basically with steps. So that really is calculated by the steps that you take. And if you're searching, then in the search, your time is going to go up by 10. In a standard, it just goes up by 1. So really what they should have called that is your step counter. You know, they're all wearing Fitbits or something. Camp, spell menu, combat. After combat, treasure, spells. I think every spell actually has its own thing too. It has its own code. Bestiary. Okay, so here's the nitty gritty. This is where, okay, 18 over 100 is 3 and 6. I don't think weight allowance actually plays an effect though in this game. But this stat block actually reminds me of 2nd edition. But I don't know if they use this in 1st edition too. They might have, I don't know. This stat block also reminds me of, oh, you get +3? That's not right. 18 is not +3, it's only +2. 19 is +3. Constitution, +4 hit points. Okay, I thought it was no, it's +4, that's right. Bonus attacks for high-level fighters, which is, I don't even know why they have this, because they're all 1. Weapons, okay. They have a classification for fighters, have its own classification, thieves, magic users, and clerics. I wonder if these are set to some kind of value. Every character class has its own separate advancement. Oh yeah, there's this too. So this determines their memorizations for spells. And it has a maximum, it looks like. Number of spells per level. 1, 2, 3. That's it? Just 3? Oh. I guess it's the maximum amount of spells that you can memorize. Yeah, because I noticed that if you put like the value 9 in there, it just ignores it. Like you can't do 9. Mages, 433. They can go to level 8? No, they can't. They can go to level 6, I think. I don't think they can go to level 8. Level 8 is not a thing. Spells, cleric, magic user. Nope. This one's sideways for some reason. That's interesting. The first party that it recommends is Dwarf Fighter. Well, Dwarf Fighter is a given. Human magic user, human cleric, half-elf magic user cleric, and then fighter magic user. Okay. That's the most flexible party, even though you don't really need these. Yeah, I remember this, FCI. Not just kid stuff. Well, that kind of helped. I noticed, though, that this booklet doesn't contain saving throws or anything like that, even though that is coded into the game, and thieves have their thief abilities coded in the game, even though this doesn't really mention it either. I don't think you ever use the knock spell either, because nothing's ever locked. Yeah, that's why you don't, I mean, there's a part in the game that thieves are actually pretty important, kind of, but, like, it's not super detrimental if you don't have a thief, so. Alright, so there's a couple things I wanted to do. Let me see if I can load a state here. I think it's P. Yes, it is. Let's see, do we have... Nope, that's just a test. P? Yeah, here we go. So this is when we did the coding for all these other characters. There is one mistake in here, though, so let me see if I can fix it. I was watching the VOD, and I noticed that 2 of the characters were sharing inventory, and I know why they were sharing inventory. This is the start of the game here. They were sharing inventory because they were both assigned the same character stat. Oh, is it because I have Derp selected? No, I don't have anybody selected. But there's this section here is what I'm looking for. So they were assigned the same. So 03, and then this should be 04. Yeah, because they were assigned the same exact character, like, reference. So one of the characters, the 2 characters were sharing the same inventory, which made it really weird. My question is well, there should be 5. Yeah, there's 5. Because it starts at 00, and then it goes to 01. Somewhere here. I think it's 01. No, not there. 01, and then 02, and then 03, and then 04. I'm curious, though, if you could actually create a stat block and make a 05. But I don't know. I don't know. Do you think we should try and break it? I don't know how this is referencing it, though. Yeah, because that's the other interesting thing is, like, there's no internal reference to the other character. It's just this is where it knows to look for the first character, second, third, fourth, and fifth for the loaded modules. But, like, there's still space left down here. You see that? There's still memory location left. So if we were to, like, say, okay, well, let's insert something in there and see what happens, I would be all for it. I just need to see the spacing here. So a character stat block is going to be 8 long, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11 long. But then it has 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. It's 22 long. So this one is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then the next character slot would start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then the next character. What the fuck are these, though? Like this guy right here. I don't even know who this is. This is like a whole nother stat block. That's very weird how it just has this in here. So this is referencing something. That's kind of interesting. So what do we have here? Is there any patterns here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is random here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just another random here. Okay, so this is the cleric spells, and this is the mage's spells. That's really fucked up how I know that. At least that's the reference I can see. So is this like the encamp? No, it can't be the encamping because yeah, these two characters have there's more spells than that. There should be a 10 in here somewhere then. Yeah, but these are referencing characters for some reason. I just don't know what. So we need to watch this section here. I need to see, what is this? 006D 60. This is dealing something with characters through 6D A0. Okay. But yeah, if I were to try and insert another character in this, though, I don't know, first off, what would happen, and secondly, how it would know it was referenced. Because I don't see, these are all the character, this is all the character stored information here. And the only thing it really references is Perpure and Mage. Where is Rein 2? Yeah, 30. This should be 30. 30. Okay. That should give him 3 spells. Hit points is all messed up too, but big button here. Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something in the character stat block that tells it that it's the first character. Because right now we have him selected. So there should be a 00, a 01, a 02, a 03, and a 04 somewhere in these character stat blocks. Otherwise, I don't understand how it knows which character goes into each block. But there's no information here. I mean, this is the character stats. This is the character saving throws. This is their THAC0. This is their movement. This I still haven't determined what that is yet. What is this? This is a plus to hit. Yeah, the only thing that we haven't discovered yet is where does it keep the information for ranged THAC0. So one of these we've determined is THAC0, but I think it's on the other stat block. This is the other stat block down here. This is the combat stat block, and I'm wondering if it's actually like this. This is 30, which would be, no, that's not right. It's this one. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this thing started. Is it sped up? Yeah, it is. Just wanted to speed it up just to make sure. Yeah, the hit points are still not accurate. I can fix that real quick, though. So whose hit points isn't accurate? Herp and Derp. So Herp is looking at... Herp. You both should have 11 hit points, which is accurate. So this is Derp's hit points, which is accurate. It's his maximum that isn't accurate. So the maximum hit points is what is wrong. That would be up here at the top. So Derp's hit points, I believe. Let's see here. Okay, Derp actually starts right here. This is Derp's start. And this is his character name, 8 characters long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it goes to the stat block. And then this would be his hit points. So 11 hit points maximum. Oh no, he has 07. That's not right. OD. What is OD? So D is 13. That's not right either. What is 2C referencing? 2C, which is 44. That's probably the memorized... No, it's not a memorized spell. It's probably just the spell that he knows. I don't know where his hit point stat block is, though. Because his maximum is showing... Your maximum showing... Your maximum hit points is showing 7. But the only 7 you have here is here. I don't know. We can try adjusting it. Okay, so we need 11. So for an 11, that's going to be B. So if I put in a 0B here, let's see what happens. There it goes. Okay, so that fixed it. Alright, so now his hit points are right. So Herp's hit points is actually incorrect. I think his hit points need to also be 0B. Now that is fixed as well. Okay. Yeah, because what we've essentially built, what we've been testing is we're building max cap characters, and max cap characters look a little like this. I mean, you've got a dwarf warrior who has an 18. Well, you technically would have a 19 con, but when they speedrun this on Gold Box, they give them all max stats. And if we wanted Pool of Radiance NES to be competitive with speedrunning, we could just give them all max stats through ROM hacking, and then we could speedrun the game as normal, just without the portion of actually having to build character. Unless somehow we can build a trainer that would just fill in the values as they needed to be, but I don't even have any fucking clue on how to do that, so... But I mean, all it is just memory locations and specific positioning. But that would leave it to where spells... Let me get the fuck out of here. The one thing that we haven't really uncovered yet, though, is how do we get ranged Thaco to work properly? Not to mention ranged damage, because ranged damage and ranged Thaco doesn't seem to be functioning, right? Because you find a magic bow, and sure enough, it doesn't give them the magic bow effect, and their Thaco doesn't change based off of their dex. It's just weird. Okay. Let's go ahead and just get people loaded up. I do not want a broadsword, but okay. Banded mail, shield, longsword. Banded mail, shield, longsword, banded mail, shield, and the 2 herp drips in the back. We'll give them short bows. I wish you can get composite bows. Can we get composite? Is that a thing? No, composite is not a thing. It's an item we have to find at this point. Short bow. I wish the game was naturally this fast. Jesus, it feels so responsive. I do not want to do that, but just do this anyway. Banded mail. Shield. Okay, well, you're fully equipped. And we'll just get Hurt fully equipped, I guess. Longsword. Shield. Okay, everybody's got. And then Gort, you need to sell your stupid broadsword. You don't need it. Alright. So, technically, with the amount of decks that they have, the short bow would be This is just a regular short bow, and since it's not composite, you know, I don't think there is a composite short bow, but a composite longbow would give them their strength effect, but I would need to get a hold of a composite longbow first. Gore, why is your AC of 5? Gore, your AC's off. Why is that? What the fuck? I don't remember changing that value. 36. Okay, so now that should be fixed. It's interesting that the damage does stay in effect. We'll have to see about finding the magic bow real quick, and then just testing that. I'm trying to think though, if the way that the calculation goes for the THAC0 though is that this value changed actually. That's interesting. That's a new development. It reverted back to 37. I think it's referencing back up here as 37. So let me see. 35, 37, yeah. So even though I'm changing the value, it goes back to the character sheet and checks the character sheet and then realizes, oh no, you're not actually. So what is this then? I don't know. Okay. But being equipped with stuff, it's changing the value. Yeah, the value of the THAC0 shifted to 3E, and I don't know why. That's kind of interesting. This also shifted to 3E, and this shifted to 3E. So is that, no, wait, it shifted to 3E because that's the AC. Okay. So that's fine. That should shift to 3E. So that's actually adding. But the THAC0 is still 2B, I think. I think that's right. So if I unequipped everything, yeah, 2B, it shouldn't be affected. Okay, so that's accurate. But now, what is... There's got to be some shenanigans with, because I never determined what this was. I'm gonna see what happens if I shift this to 0, 0. That wasn't the character placement, right? No. Okay, so that didn't do anything. Yeah, because there was one value in here I don't understand what it does in the character stat block, and in this, I know what most of it does, and I noticed there's 11 slots in here too, so it's probably just areas to store memory for something. But like the first is pretty much their status, so if you change this, their status changes. And then you've got various things in here like their THAC0 and their armor class, and then you've got the amount of dice that their damage is going to do. So in this case, it's 1d8, so 1d8. And then he gets a bonus of 6 damage. Right. But somebody with a bow, so Derp has a bow, he's down here. His damage is reading 6 on here, but he actually doesn't do... No, that's 1d6. So his damage right here is showing 0, which is accurate. But we need to get a hold of a magic bow to see if that actually is going to populate properly. Did I not equip the banded mail on this other dude? I did not. So, okay, so he's good now. So somebody's off in their AC here. What the hell? Okay, Herp, why is your AC lower wearing the same stuff? So his AC jumped to 5 again. What the fuck? Derp, Herp. Herp. Your AC should be 36. What is it? 37? That's not right. It's jumping back and forth. That is very strange. Let me see if I can go out of here. It's 36 here now, so I think I have to change it here because this loads the memory for the character, and I don't think it does a check for it again until you make a change or something really fucked up. Alright, so that's fixed again. Let's try this again. It should only be a 0, which is right. And technically the short bow with an 18 deck should be a THAC0 of 17. But I haven't hard-coded. I don't know where they store the data for ranged weapons. I don't know where that's at. So I want to get my hands on a short bow and see if a magic short bow, if we can determine where that information is stored. I also want to get into combat so I can see if I can identify where the die roll is happening, because in combat you can see there's almost like a memory slot that you can actually see when it's processing information for combat, and I'm wondering if one of those is an ever-changing number that I can start tracking down that ever-changing number and then see if I can reference that as a chain within the memory, because the way the rolls work in this game is that it uses a static like system. It doesn't do random number generation. It literally just checks a list, and that list is the same every time. So, all right, so what we want to do is we want to save the state, because I don't want to have to do this all over again. So save the state. Everything is set perfectly. It's set the way it's supposed to be as far as my knowledge knows. And then we're going to go in and mess around at this point. So okay, so we're just going to go right off. This is going to be a miss. Well, actually, this might hit. It's a 9, so okay. Our archers are going first for some reason. So far, so good. Alright, so we're going way too fast, and I'm not even monitoring the... here it is. Okay, so is it Gort's turn? It is Gort's turn. Here is the kind of the memory block that it's using to work with. Okay. You know what is interesting? EQ is retro. EQ is so retro, man. I love EQ. I was talking with Mark, he's a buddy of mine, Phonoid, about doing the next TLP that comes out in March, just because I'll probably be ready to play EQ all over again. And yeah, because I was playing WoW Classic for a little while there, but then it's too much drama at this point. Mostly what's going on in China. So, but I wouldn't feel bad about going back to EQ all over again and just like building the ultimate party and just fucking around and just having fun. But we're doing hex editing now with Pool of Radiance because we want to speedrun it. So we're fucking with the code to see how we can make it work in our advantage to make a proper speedrun for it. And we're just we're trying to break the game. So, so this is the memory storage. And I think it actually goes pretty far down. I'm not 100% sure, but I need to see if the value for when you're doing an effect is actually stored in here with a number. Some of this looks familiar. Like right here is his stat. This is his stat block right here, and somewhere in here is going to be his saving throws. If it even accounts for it. Right here, I think is his saving throws. This might be his saving throws. That might be his damage and his hit points. I don't know. So let's go ahead. I'm going to slow it down. That's a little too slow. Let's get in there. Okay. So these values are going to change. So we saw the values. Okay, there's a lot of values that just changed there. The values changed because we switched to the goblin. Which, incidentally, it switches to the goblin, and it shows us the stat block of the goblin. So we can actually determine the stats of all the goblins and shit. Just slow. Alright, so... Rein is going to make a swing. Alright, so it looked at these two values here and these two values over here. That's really weird. The goblin is going. Missed. A lot of processing here. It's actually, I think it's like Herp is next. So it's going down to Herp. He's got a bow. Okay, so if we target the goblin, actually, we can actually see its stats. So this is the goblin stat block up here. This is Rein stat block. So let's see if we can do a comparison here. So these are his stats, right? Right here is his stats. So we get to see the stats here. So that's just a 10. So 10 strength, or 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then there's no... So it just has 10 stats all the way down. It's very interesting. I'm surprised it doesn't say goblin up here, though. It just has just... Wait a minute. Okay. 1203 is goblin. 1203. Goblin. I'm wondering if it's just a memory location reference. 1204 is the goblin chief. Goblin captain, I guess. I'm sure he has a name. We can't see anything anyway, so let's move. Okay. Goblin leader. It says he has an AC of 2. I don't know if that's accurate. We can actually determine what his AC is. That's not what I wanted, though. So, what is determining AC? So, AC on this character... Okay, he has +2 to... Okay. 20101. Okay. So, oh man, there's so much shit right now we can determine about monsters by just looking at this. Oh my god. He does a d6 damage. He does a d6 damage. D6 damage. How many hit points does he have? I'm going to see what his AC is. So AC is over here. So 3E AC here. He has a 3A AC. So his AC is... If his AC is -1 at 3E, a 3A AC is... Let's see, E is -1. So then D would be 0. C would be 1. D or B would be 2, and A is actually 3. So 3A. Oh my god, that is so fucked up. That is so fucked up amazing, though. I love it. So it's saying that he has a 3A AC. So let me see. We know that -1 is 3E. So 3E equals 3E equals 62. So I think the calculation is like to figure out negative numbers, it just subtracts it. So if this is 3A and 3E, oh man. So even the information within the game messes with you, saying that it has an AC of 2 and 7 hit points. Is that right? Versus his hit points should be, I think, 0D. Is So then his hit points is 0.7. So 0.7 is right. That's the amount of hit points he actually does have. So that is actually accurate. I think those are saving throws here, actually. These are the saving throws. So his saving throws are, you know, pretty much crappy. Yeah, there's a lot of information stored in here. But his AC is incorrect. So 2 AC is actually not right. It's a difference of 4 letters from a -1 AC. Because they have a -1 AC, right? They have no, they have a -2 AC. So 3A is accurate. That is a 2 AC. Does that mean though I can go in there and actually change it? So, okay, so that means that monsters have their own stat blocks that are stored in here somewhere. So if I were to actually go to the top real quick and do a search on the string 1203, that should give us something, right? Yeah, here's a 1203 right here. This is a stat block for a goblin. This is probably currently in the fight, though. That's why this is being stored here. But this is the goblin. And then there should be a 1204 here, right? Here's the 1204. That's the stat block for the other goblin. And they have the stat blocks that are laid out almost exactly like a character, where it has the stats in the beginning and the end of the character. Alright, so where else can we find this information, though? Is it actually stored? Nope. So this information is only loaded when it's loaded here in the game. So this string isn't anywhere else. Yep, it's just here in this time right now. Okay. Unless that means that this is... we'd have to do another combat with kobolds or something, because this might be just... This is the first monster in this, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. So there's got to be somewhere, though. So what if we were to look up this? Because this is the actual stat block. So let's go ahead and 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to do that one. And then now we are getting down into here. That's a long one, though. There should be 12, though, if it's like crunched together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so find next. Find next. Okay, okay, okay. We have this is a stat block here. Okay, so this is the 1203. Is this what we referenced before, or? This looks like this is what we referenced before. Yeah, this is the same one. Yeah, it's just looping back. Okay, so it's... I don't know if it's being stored anywhere else, but the information, at least when the monster is loaded, is stored at least in the memory for use. So, but where is... Let's go back to the targeting information. Let's see if... I wonder if all of this information is actually being processed. Part of this must be the map, too. Because all the information in this kind of section... not this section. Is it this section? It's this section where Herp is. Because it's Herp's turn, he's being selected. It seems to be like active memory, where it's actually trying to do something. It's trying to do some processes. Alright, so... Aim. It's just changing the target information. 02, 00, 01. Okay. I know what that is. I'm looking at this number here. This is the positioning in the party. So we know what that value is. Okay. So let's slow it down really quick. I just want to see if it processes information and seeing that if it will do... Okay. Oops. I have it really slow right now. Yet I don't... Okay, what is that? I know it's parsing through characters, it's trying to figure out who goes next. Yeah, since it shifts through the characters so much, it makes it difficult for us to determine where is the value going in for it to determine whether it hits or misses. Can you move, please? No. Okay, we'll take the long way. Does this count down? This doesn't look like it's counting down movement. Oh, there it goes. No, it's still not counting down. Those three values, though, there's three values that are coming up. So here, it was here, here. Okay, wait a minute. Let's do another movement. It's very strange. Okay, so here we go with another swing. It's a hit. 14 damage. And the Goblin Leader's dead. So, is he going to surrender? No, he's not. Okay. So what if what happens if I aim in the location where he was, if it still determines that something was there? Nope, it's gone. So that total value for that monster is kaput. Okay, so let's move this character up. Slow it down. All right, there was a calculation just there and then. I saw, see, here's what I saw happen is the game selected the AC for some reason. Let's try this again. I'm watching the numbers that flare. Okay, so we determine, well, he's got a higher AC. He's got a 3A. So it's a 3, he's got a 3 AC right now. So we're going to swing. Okay, so it's selected Rein. So that is only shifting because it's shifting back to Rein. What are these numbers down here? 6 and 3. You're shifting. Okay. This might take a little bit to determine. Give us some treasure, some leather armor. We'll just give it to Derp. All right. Okay, some kobolds. It's strange that he hit me with a bow. So the first attack is normally a miss, and he shot a bow at me and he hit me for some reason at -2 AC. Like they must have a stupid amount of plus to hit or something. Let me see here. All right, so 1202, okay. 1201. 1201 again. Okay, no. 1201. Okay, so it is 1202. So it is a type. It is most definitely a type. So the kobold leaders are 1202. That would be a kobold leader. And then 1201 is actually just a kobold. And their stat blocks, let's see, kobold leader stat, or kobold, regular kobold stat block. They actually have a very low stat in there, a 6 something. I think that's intelligence. It's intelligence or wisdom, one of the two. 6 hit point? No, they do 1d6 damage. AC of a 38, which means that's an AC of 4? Man, why is their AC so fucking high? They do 1d4 damage. They do 1d6 damage. That's interesting. Okay, right here. So these numbers are very closely akin. You've got an AC here, but you also have another value here that's very, very close. It's almost like as if this is a ranged AC or something. Yeah, there's values in here that I'm still trying to determine. This is their stat block. Like up here is primarily their stats. And then this is the combat stat block, I think. So this is their status. This is their hit points, so 3 hit points. Is that their position in the party? I think that's their position in the party because this is 00, 01, 03, 04, and 02. Yeah, that's their position in the party. And then, what is the 09 for? Don't know what the 09's for. And then their AC, and they have 2 different ACs. I think they have 2 different ACs. And then you have a series right here that I'm not sure of. Right here, somewhere here actually is their experience. It might be right here actually, the amount of experience they award. And this is the position in the party. Nothing else is changing down here though, so. Alright, so let's get back. Let's slow it down. And then let's... Is that a hit or a miss? Miss. Parsons against people. What is it? There's probably values in here that are just flipping so much because it's flipping for all the characters. Back to this. Let's do an aim real quick. None of those values are changing though. This value is doing some flips. DC for something. It's almost as if this is like, let's see, C, D, E. It's only 3 off though. It's a difference of 3. So does that mean that if you're using a ranged weapon, it calculates it differently? I have no idea. Like it adds 3 to it? I don't know. See, hers is 3C, 3A. B's, it's only 2 away though. It's a difference of 2. Unless shields are not accounting for it. That's really fucking weird. Alright, who's attacking? Who's attacking? Slow it down again. It's really slow. That is super slow. You hit or miss. That's a hit. Almost damage. Two points of damage. Okay. So what I want to watch now is this part of the step. So we're back to Gort's turn. Wait, we didn't even kill the kobold with 2 damage? What the fuck? However, we took 2. 2, right? So his hit points should be lower. How many hit points, buddy? I think it's up top. I think he's showing with 4 hit points left. Okay. So we're going to aim. Lower the speed and take a look again. So 04, now it's going to go to one of my characters. Yeah. Somebody's determined that it's a hit. Where's the damage? Hits for 2 damage again. I'm wondering if it's just assigning a value. There's no value that's actually showing up from here. It just randomizes the roll between the value that it's given, 1 through 6. Check. Let me check another part of the memory here before the game. Just to make sure that there's nowhere else that is making any changes. No changes there. This might be just map details. And then here. Okay, something happened down here. Okay, there's things happening down here too. A lot of interesting things now happen down here. Okay. Okay, I see what this value is doing. This is actually for the reticle. This is the positioning on the map. And then this is determining... Okay, that's just a target. 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, that's looking good. Alrighty, so we're at the bottom here. So I'm going to reverse this to go up this way. And there's a bunch of things here. I don't want to attack it. That's just, yeah, that's just the positioning. So he actually attacks. Ooh, there's something going on down at the bottom even. There's all kinds of shit going on down here. Oh my god. Oh man, it's like a fucking light show down there. There's just so much shit. Alright. That was just a random encounter. Secret treasure. Alright, so here's one of the magic bows. I want to get it identified, but I think if you equip it, it just works the way it's supposed to anyway. I don't think you have to have it identified for it to function the way it's supposed to function. So I should probably turn search on. Okay. Nice little caster to get up close. We'll just... I don't think you... I think you do get a saving throw for... oh, yeah, we don't want you to get close. We've only done one swing, too. Oh yeah, he's not gonna miss because they're just left. So he's gonna do 6 damage. We've determined that. So somewhere in this swing is gonna be a 6. There's somewhere that's determining the 6 damage. I wish there was a way I could pause it. Just like stop the game just so I could check the memory. Yeah, I did not see anything there. Unless it does the processing above it, but I don't think it does. I think this is mostly running like the things in the background. Most of the processing is happening here. Here. No. Battle's over, so I can't see here. Is this here? Yeah, it's right here. Well, below this, but... And a bunch of treasure. It says we found a bunch of treasure. Oh, there's a broadsword and a cloak. Give it all to Gordon. Anybody got hurt even. Alright, so rest. Nope. Spell, memorize. Dirt casted her spells. Dead. Away. You find a leather bag. Open it? Yes. Another short bow. No, they're just going to attack us. Okay, let's see how it is. This is not what we want to look at, though. We want to look at... Where is... the funsies. Let's get her targeted just so I can find it again. Alright, here we go. Dirt. Let's select all of this. If they were able to strike us first and hit with a ranged weapon, I think we can do the same. Is this okay? So I'm seeing something interesting in this line right here. This went from a 4 to a 5. We're over to a 3. Back up to 5 again. Oh, he's got reach. Personally, I'm wondering if there's a number in here that's actually predetermined with the damage, or with the hit and damage that's already determined of what's going to happen. I wouldn't put it past the game that that would be a thing. That would be B. Yeah, there's a B right here. Oh, something about this range. It's a miss. And the B hasn't changed, so probably not. A, switch to A. It's 10 though, not 2. There's no 2 in the lineup here, so fuck. Oh, there's a 2 over here though. 7. This kobold's gonna fight to the death. No, there's just no correlation. God, these values have to be stored somewhere, though. A lot of this data in here is a lot of game data. being stored somewhere else. We'll just keep looking. We just gotta get another combat, I guess. Oh, I forgot. They'll like... There's no change here. No change happening here. Oh, she killed some. She gets to go again. Like an entire stat block that's missing for this character. Oh God. lot of processing in there. That was probably a good spike in frames there. I'm not seeing any patterns here. Oh my god, why does he have so low hit points? You know, he's got a -2 AC, and yet a goblet still hit him. That was a good heal, though. 7 hit point heal. Glad he healed himself. Jesus, 6 damage. And then we miss. It's a fucking goblin. That was a good heal again. 8 hit points that time. Is it the Y positioning? It's basically the Y positioning. Yeah, this is right here is X and Y positioning on the map. I'm gonna write that down. So 007 DA0 is, so 1 is the Y position, right? This is Y? Yeah. No, this is Y. This is X. So the X position and the Y position. And then 2 is the Y position. I'm trying to see if the game actually predetermines what the result's going to be when you select something. What's that of image? So this section seems to deal mostly with map data, where you're dealing with the icon, because I'm noticing that this is pointing to my party icon here, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this gets labeled as 10. See if I can... It's too high up. Yeah, right here. So is he labeled as 10? This is icon 10. Where's the 04 and 01? Right here. Okay. That's CD. So it's like completely different for monsters for some reason. He ain't running away no more. You just want to fight, I see. That's interesting. It is very possible that the ranged uses its own table for values, because normally the first attack always misses. But with ranged, it seems to always hit. Oh my god, why is there so much shit out here? Like a numerous amount of shit that just keeps attacking me. This room smells very dirty. Actually, there's more stuff in there. So we took the first attack, so that one's gonna hit. Alright, so the first ranged attack should automatically hit. Yep. And then the second ranged attack is going to miss. Nope. Maybe it uses the same table. It doesn't make sense, though, why one would hit and one would miss, though. Damage. I think with it sped up, it's like causing it to... This should hit. So yeah, it's becoming very consistent. Can I get in there? Oh, it's a good old bugbear. That's gonna miss. That's gonna hit. Nope, I missed. That's gonna hit. Well, guess you guys get a mouthful of sleep spell. So 16. What is 16? Let's see. Can he do 16 damage? 6 plus 8. Oh no, he did 16 damage because he was asleep. Never mind. But that still raises the question of what is 16? It's not that one. 16 is... Nope. Wrong one. 16 is 10. Okay. That's going to be very hard to find. For fun, though, let's just do a search on 10. Okay. That's just referencing Derp's... something in Derp's stat line, though. This, however... 7140. Keep an eye on 7140. What else? I don't think the stat block ever changed. Let's go ahead and just watch this real quick. Nope. I totally missed how much damage that did too. Who needs healing? Rein needs healing. Just heal himself, I guess. Oh, he's out of magic. Never mind. He's gonna get hit. Okay. Let's go back to 7140. 7140 was right here. This is still 16. So that's probably not anything we need to pay attention to. Seven. Computing. Oh, Jesus.